What's up, everyone? I hope everyone is having a great and a beautiful and a blessed Saturday, whatever day it is that you're watching this video. So today, I want to speak like particularly on, friendships and figuring out who's not your friend and what are some of the signs that you can look for and to know when to cut people off, know who you need to cut off. And a lot of the times I know we hold on to people for whatever reason, but again, I know I talk about this in a lot of my videos, but today I just really kind of want to dive a little more, into that, because we all know a lot of us may be still currently hanging around people who are not our friends, being around people who are not good for us. So anyway, y'all ready for this message? So let's go. So as it pertains to friends, y'all, because we all know, we all been there. Growing up, I'm gonna take it back to growing up, right? How many of y'all mothers told y'all that people were not y'all friends? Just think about that for a second. Cause I know, I'm pretty sure everybody's mom told them, or whoever raised you, told you, oh, he ain't your friend, or she ain't your friend. And being, I can't even say because we were young, because again, a lot of us as older people still be with that, hang with people who are not our friends or whatever. But whenever we were told that, we like, yeah, they are. What you mean they're not my friend? We couldn't wrap, it's in our brain around our parents telling us that a person wasn't our friend, especially when someone who we felt like we were close with, they were cool. You know what I'm saying? We always had a good time, had fun around them. So it's like, no, yes, they are. You don't know what you're talking about. But then, as time passed by, as you get older and a little bit more wiser, you start to see. And I know a lot of us, again, can sit there and think back and say that as we when we figured it out, that we were like, my mama was right. The whole time she was right, because mama knows best, right? And so it's kind of funny that even though we kind of figured that out, from childhood, learning who our friends weren't when we got older, it's like still in adulthood, you would think that we would still be able to pinpoint and figure out who our friends are. But we don't, right? Like, because again, going back to childhood, we know a lot of people who mama said I wasn't our friends weren't, turned out not to be. But yet we moved through adulthood, the same shenanigans. Hanging around people who are really not our friends. Either you hang around them for beneficial reasons, they hanging around you for beneficial reasons. A lot of times it's not really positive. It's just the party, the drinking, just the overall fun. But it's nothing positive really in that friendship, right? So for now, for us, no, not me now, because I'm in my cutoff season. I'm gonna just say that, like, I've been analyzing, I've been seeing, I've been cutting off. But anyway, now when you are dealing with people who ultimately are not your friends, how do you figure that out? I'm gonna give you a few things to look at. When do you only call them, or do they only call you? And do they only call you when they want something, when they need something? Or do you see whenever you need them, they're nowhere to be found? Or is it when something good happens for you, they're not really that excited? Like, you can tell them something and then they're like, it's just overall dry. They try to be excited, but you can see through the BS. Like, you're not really that happy for me. You're just trying to say something because you need to say something. But either a lot of times you really don't say much at all. Or are you in like a group, a circle of friends, right? Where all y'all are close. But then this person's talking about that person. It just seems like one person is always talking about the other person. And it's like, then you have to understand, well, dang, they could talk about all these, our other friends, what makes me so different? Right? Or is it that you see that they treat other people differently than they treat you? Like, you have been friends with them for a long time, right? But then they get new friends and they start acting a little funny. You know, again, treating you a little differently, treating them better than they treat you. Like, all of these things are things to consider to determine, sis, that is not your friend, or bro, that is not your homie. Like, and you have to be able to trust people. The same thing goes for romantic relationships. It's the same thing that applies to friendships. Like, you have to be able to trust people, you know, because if you trust somebody, and I'm gonna say this because it happens. I've known somebody like this, someone who, you know, is out there sleeping with a lot of people. A lot of 9 times out of 10, y'all, and I do mean 9 times out of 10, they gonna try your boyfriend. It's gonna be something very sneaky that's gonna happen, but that happens, right? So it's like, you have to just watch those people around you, and then you have to also ultimately look at where are you trying to go, because when you get to a certain point in your life, when you're trying to elevate and grow, and people are only doing the same things, which is too much of nothing, again, that's when you know it's time to cut people off. Because like I say, we like to hold on to people. And the same thing applies to romantic relationships. Like, you know, a lot of us, y'all, I know we be going through life feeling like, oh yeah, that's gonna be my husband, I'm gonna marry him. Or that's gonna be my wife, I'm gonna marry her. Be together with somebody 10 plus years. And you done seen all the signs, you know, but again, you trying to hold on. You trying to make it work. But ultimately, you probably trying to make it work by yourself. And things are just not getting better, but then you continue to stay. You stay. And Steve Harvey made a very good point. I remember on one of his shows when someone was talking about, I guess, what they were going through in their relationship. And what he said was, I think the person said they might have been with that person for like 12 years or something like that. And what he said was, so are you trying to go through another 12 years of the same thing? And I had to let that marinate. Like, that is so true. And I think a lot of people should think like that, you know what I'm saying, as it pertains to whatever they're going through, friendship or romantic relationship. Like, are you trying to go through the same amount of years, or even, hell, another year, 2 or 3, dealing with the same thing? Because what you are doing is you are wasting time. And again, in another video, I talked about wasted time. Because it's nothing worse than wasting your time. So if you're cool with wasting your time, then you, by all means, you continue to hold on and try to, you know, change people, instead of letting people change themselves, because that's what they're supposed to do, right? A lot of people come with baggage. They bring that baggage into relationships and friendships. Instead of working on themselves, they put it, ultimately it relies on the other person that ends up dealing with the baggage as well, carrying it too. And that's nothing that brings the relationship down. So y'all, we gotta know when it is okay to cut people off. Ooh, another one, family. Cause y'all, listen, what they say, you can love family, but love them from a distance. Because even with family, a lot of the times you can grow up with, you know, your close cousins, being real close with them. But again, as you start to change and grow in your life, you have to understand and see, like, yeah, you still on the same thing. I can't hang with you. I can't be with you. I love you, but I can't really deal with you like that. Why? Because they are ultimately not going to help you grow. It's kind of like you're going to stay still in a certain way. Like, and you might not realize it or think about it. Like, when you hanging on to friendships, cousinships, romantic relationships, hanging on to these people, like, you are ultimately, it's a part of you that's not going to grow. It's a part of you that's going to stay where they're at. Why? Because it's something in you that's okay with what is going on around you. And that is not okay. So that's what I've been learning. That, okay, I know, like, I've been okay with some stuff for so long. Why? Because it was something in me that was okay with it, that allowed it, but no more, right? That's why I say the season, in order for you to really get to that point, you have to make it all about you. See, because the season I'm in now, it's about me and nobody else. And when you make it solely about you, because I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, we go through life not really putting ourselves first. We put other people first, other people's needs, whether you're a mother, whether you're a wife, just in a relationship, period. You know what I'm saying? Work and job. You know what I'm saying? You put all these other people and things before you. So you kind of miss what it is that you really, truly need and deserve when you do that. So that's why it is important to make a season solely for you, because when you make a season that is ultimately only for you, about you, and nobody else, you will see a lot. You will learn a lot. You know what I'm saying? You will be able to, see things that you never seen before, see a whole lot more clearly, things you never saw before, right? And another thing, I think a lot of people don't like being alone. Like when you was so used to hanging with people, going out having fun, or being in that relationship for so long, a lot of people don't like to be by themselves. They want to be, around people. They want to just seek attention and validation and just overall the presence of other people. And I'm going to tell y'all another thing. Again, is where I know I'm growing the way I'm growing. You have to take a season where God is going to just sit you still, sit you down, be around nobody again but you. He's trying to lead you to that season that is only about you and nobody else. He's trying to get you to see you. See the person who he's called you to be. See the things that he wants to give you. That's the point too of being in a season, being still. Because still seasons are important too. Because those seasons are the seasons that you learn so much. Y'all, because I was in my season, I'm going to tell y'all. And again, because I'm talking to me. Because again, I've been through this. And I'm still currently in a season where I'm not hanging out. And at first, in the beginning, for me, I didn't like it. I'm like, you looking on Facebook, on social media, and you see, you feel like you're missing so much, And it's like, dang, I don't like this. I really, overall, I did not like it. Until I started working on my relationship with God. Until I started to see my life slowly change. And still, until I started to slowly see me change. When I started to notice things I didn't notice before, I'm like, okay, God, this is why you sit me down by myself. This is why you did that. And then I started to get so much more done, right? Like, I started understanding, okay, this is what you want me to do. I started listening to him, letting him guide me, right? Instead of being within my own wants and selfishness, like, oh, I want to go out, or, oh, they over here having fun. Listen, in reality, you're not really missing nothing for real. What you are really missing out on whenever you choose to want to be in your own selfish ways and do what you want to do, you miss out on a big, 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 great, phenomenal blessings that God has for you. And you also truly miss out on the person that he has called you to be. Because again, I promise you, if I never would have been, and still again currently is in my still season, but when I say still, I don't mean still is just like I'm sitting around not doing nothing. No, because like I told you, I get a lot done. Not hanging out, not being around nobody, not even barely even talking on the phone. I don't, because, and it also led me to finally cut people off that I knew a long time ago. Like God was showing me so many different things, but again, because of history, whatever the case may be, it's like, you try to hold on, or you be feeling for the other person, again, thinking about the other person. It's about me. It's about you. So you have to know when to cut people off and who you need to cut off, especially if you're trying to grow and those people aren't. And it's another someone else I listened to, her name is Stormy Wellington. She had made a good point too. What was it? Dang, I just had it in my head and I just missed it. What is it that she said? Oh, okay, yeah. So she was saying at a point in her life, you know, because she was, I like to follow people who are like relatable. Anyway, it's another time. But anyway, she said before she got where she's at in life, because she's, you know, a millionaire now. You know, she was once, you know, Section 8 food stamps. She regular black girl. She grew up like had a lot going on. If y'all want to go follow her again, her name is Stormy Wellington to catch up on her story. But at a point in her life, she was hanging around people. She said drinking what it was, from strawberries, you know, just overall smoking, sitting around watching TV. What she say, Lifetime all the time, all day long. You know what I'm saying? She was depressed and everything, but you know that's what she was doing on a regular. And it's like she had nobody around her to be like, girl, what you doing with yourself? Why? Because everybody was doing the same exact thing. So she said she got to a point in her life where she said, you know what? I can't do this no more. I don't know if I can't remember what that point was, but she got there, right? And then she said whenever she started to grow and change and started to do better, the same people that she was hanging around was like, girl, what's wrong with you? And she's like, what? What do you mean? Because I want to better myself? Oh, you acting different? I'm acting different now? I'm acting funny? Why? Because I don't want to sit around on the couch and drink strawberries and watch Lifetime all day and smoke or whatever. Something wrong with me? But when something was actually wrong with me, y'all didn't see that something was actually wrong with me. So it's like, again, going back to because they on the same thing. So they think you growing and you changing for the better. Something is wrong with that. And again, people get uncomfortable. It doesn't matter who gets uncomfortable, who doesn't like it. Oh well, because if they are uncomfortable and if they don't like it, that means, again, evidence, proof, confirmation that they aren't for you. No matter the friendship, cousinship, or romantic relationship, no matter which one, if anybody feels any type of negative way about you growing and changing and they ain't trying to add to it, cut them off. Let them people go. And again, too, it does not have to be no beef, no hard feelings. You know, it's just the simple fact that I love you. You know, a relationship was what it was. I will cherish it, you know, the memories of it. But that season is over with. Our friendship is over with. The relationship is over with. The cousin, whatever family member it could be. I love you, but I'm going to love you from over there. Right? It's okay. It doesn't have to be, again, no beef. But just know that you have to determine who is your friend, who's meant to be around you, who's meant to go with you, who's for you, and who's not. And learn to let them go, y'all. So as always, be motivated, y'all. Be motivated, be motivated, be motivated. And most importantly, stay inspired.